Hi everyone, my name is Isabella Boster. I am an intern for County Supervisor Gioia, and today I have two amazing special guests from the SOS program who work for the previously in-house, and they work towards really helping them. And what SOS stands for is Safe Organized Richmond Spaces, and here they are. And if you guys could just please introduce yourself and give a little bit of background.
My name's Angelina. I been with SOS now for about a little over 4 years. I came from an encampment in North Richmond, and I've just been helping other people by relating to them and being able to help them with whatever the resources or housing or jobs.
I'm O'Neill. I'm the Director of Wellness and Programs for SOS. It's kind of similar story, you know. We went through the struggles, lived in the encampments. I've been homeless in 3 different states, and this is the one I found a career from. So, I mean, you know, I've got to work my way up through the ranks, and here I am.
No, that's so amazing. Thank you guys so much. And honestly, I think just hearing your story a little bit and just a tiny bit about you and how you you're just working to help those people and give your own personal stories. And I love those type of stories, honestly, like how people can kind of resonate with them and try to help them from their personal experience. And like, you know what they're going through, so you're like, let's do it this way, so they know that we're there with them. So I think that's just so amazing from you guys. And I think we'll just jump right into it. So when did SOS start and why?
So, before both of us, Daniel Barth, our executive director, was roughly 2019, ending 2019, beginning 2020, was at an abatement next to GRIP, which is the Soup Kitchen Family Shelter in Richmond. There was an abatement going on, and he heard an unhoused person say, "How do I get your job talking to Public Works?" And the light bulb went off, and he said, that's what we need to do. We need to create a streets team. So this is even before we knew what the name was going to be. We did that for a while. We got some physical sponsors, and I believe 2001 in October, or 2021 in October, we became our own nonprofit. You know, and we got our first major contract through the city of Richmond. So thanks to the city of Richmond has been kind of pushing us along through the past few years.
Yeah. And going back to the profit, I saw that you guys were the 2024 nonprofit in California. So I just want to kind of say that to everybody and kind of, you know.
Thank you.
Moving on, could you guys walk me through what this program really provides?
SOS provides job opportunities for the unhoused, housing pathways for the unhoused, giving them the opportunity to, show, their talents or techniques or whatever. We SOS offers showers, laundry service, so they can have clean clothes, and hygienes and like sanitation, basically, because everybody deserves to be clean.
Right.
And it's all based on trust. So we can relate with them, so they're able to open up more to us when we approach them. And that's what's different about us and unique.
That's so great. Yeah. Anil, do you want to kind of add on that, or?
Yeah, I mean, really, you know, we are stewards of change.
Right.
That's what our program does. We are stewards of change. We start with us, and that trickles to our community. I mean, everything she said is, I mean, really, you know, our focus is low barrier or no barrier. You know, our employment is low barrier as it gets. You know, our resource centers is no barrier. We like to call it street level.
Okay.
You know, we don't want to be in the fancy buildings where it's intimidating. We want to be on the street level where people go from that street encampment right into our resource center, and be able to get resources that maybe they were too intimidated to connect to. So I mean, you know, we do all of those things, but really we're stewards of change.
Yeah, no, that's so great. I like how you really emphasize the fact that your guys' program, you guys want to work with the people. You want to be there with them. You want to provide what you want to provide, and you want to give personal experience and just let them know, like, hey, like, there's people out here that this isn't like the end. Like, there's so much hope for you. There's so much more when it comes to this, and I think that's so amazing.
Yes.
And I saw on your guys' website, if you could go to the slide just real fast, kind of show everybody that you guys have a services schedule, kind of offer different things, like you said, shower, laundry, your street team goes out, happy washed and dry. That's honestly amazing. Like, I really applaud you guys for that, and like your whole
Thank you.
program for that work. You'll hear me say that a lot, because honestly, when I was looking at this and I was trying to decide what I want to do and like who I want to kind of interview, you guys really stuck out, because yes, you guys helped the people and other people were helping people, and it was getting to the point where everybody was helping people, but they were stopping. And seeing you guys help people and continue to help them, checking in on them, getting them jobs, stuff like that, I was like, this is the one, like, I have to interview them, like. And I think it was so amazing. Like, I love to tell my family about it too. Like, you guys, like, these people are really working towards that. So I just wanted to say that. And
Thank you.
yeah, of course. Moving on, you can go back to the other slide. Thank you so much. So what makes your guys' program so unique compared to other ones?
We don't just serve the community, we are the community.
Right.
So we are based on a, trust. A lot of people give up, when especially being on the streets, when you approach somebody on the streets, it's hard to get people to open up to you. And it's hard for them to even accept help because they've always been let down. And so if just being consistent and just letting them see you repetitively and seeing that you are there to help them gets them to open up, and you build a relationship with the people that you help too. And I've experienced a few of those situations, so it made me feel good.
Right.
A lot of people look up to me, and they depend on me. They come to me when they need something, clothing, food, resources.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure that I do the best I can to make sure they get what they need.
What they need. Yeah. No, I applaud you guys for that. I know that makes you feel so good inside. Like, you get to help these
because I
people.
was one of them people,
Right.
and I didn't have people that came out to offer me help at a point in my life.
Yeah.
So when I came across SOS at the encampment I was living at, I was like, whoa, like, they helped me a lot. And, it brought me out of a dark place that I was in, because I almost wanted to give up, because I just didn't get anything, no job, no nothing. And
Right.
so when I finally got the opportunity to get employed again, and SOS helped me, I was introduced to all this, this stuff that I was like, whoa,
These opportunities.
Yeah. And so I'm happy to give it back to somebody else, because I didn't have those either. So
Right. Yeah, no. That's so great. O'Neill, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really unique, is we talk in this business a lot about trauma-informed care, which, don't get me wrong, it's a great approach. I mean, we utilize it in our outreach, in our interactions. But really what we focus on, and what's really unique, is that I'm not going to look at your trauma. I'm going to look at your strengths. I'm going to walk into an encampment and see the mechanic, the contractor. I'm going to see the strengths you build, instead of just dive in and go, what's wrong with you? I want to see we all understand, we all have traumas. Everyone in this room has traumas. That's just life.
Right.
So we want to focus on the strengths of a person, identifying what those are, instead of just saying something's wrong with you.
Right.
And I think that's what we try to carry into every conversation, every interaction, as we enter in encampments or even give them the showers. we want to highlight those strengths, not just identify them. We want to highlight them and let those people shine.
Right.
You know, getting the proper people within SOS. You know, we have a mechanic. Oh, that he lived in an encampment, and we're utilizing his strength. You know, guy cutting haircuts. You know, so it's really identifying those strengths and highlighting them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, it definitely makes your guys' program very unique. And I feel like most again they stop. And with you guys, the fact that you're saying not forget, but kind of let's push that aside and let's focus on you. Let's focus on your passion, what you can do, what more you can provide, because there's so much more to you than people realize. There's so much more to you.
A lot of people on the streets are very talented.
They are.
And have a lot of potential.
They
just don't know where to go or how to start.
Right. Or even if there is a start,
yeah.
Or if there is a restart button, you know. So a
lot of places don't give them the opportunity to even show their talent or anything.
Right. They're just kind of pushing you aside. So that's so amazing of you guys. So moving on to a little bit of an easier question. What role do you guys individually play in this program?
Well, I play the cat. I am working my way up to being a care manager. I basically have been care manager's assistant, working at the motels,
Right.
with the transitional house, with the people that are in the housing programs waiting to be housed.
Right.
I make sure their basic needs are met. I mean, as far as giving them meals, what resources they need, and I take it back to the care manager, or I even, I shuttle people to their appointments. We help out with any legal documents that so anyone needs, IDs, birth certificates, social security cards. We pick up individuals to and from to go take showers, do laundry.
Right.
And I am also the laundry coordinator. So I'm the one who is on site at the laundromats and there with the peers to do laundry. Okay. I've also was the team leader for the shower powered trailer that we drive around Richmond. Okay. We have different destinations for that, and we just sit there, post for about 2 hours, and let anybody in the open community come take showers, get clean clothes, food at times, hygienes, and pretty much, yeah.
Right. Yeah. O'Neill, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, so my role, I'm the director of wellness programs. I've got the chance to pretty much dip my toes in about every crew. The showers, the trash team. When we created the outreach team, and I only put this quoted signs up just because we called it a team and I was the only person doing outreach for a while. We were joking about it. It's great to be sitting here now and have that experience, because now that we have a team, they can ask me questions. I don't know if I can answer them all, but there was a time where I used to have to go home and just Google it, go back. I don't know what they meant by when they said that, so, and I had a lot of mentors from other organizations that I could also call on, but, jokingly, I was the team. Now I get to play a part in, developing some of these programs. Not that I get to, we get to develop these programs. Our workforce clinic, it was an idea that we had. It wasn't someone else saying this is what's the need. We identified it. For me, it's about really working with our team leaders, our programs, creating where people are, where we're encampments, where our needs are. It's been amazing. I never thought I'd be sitting in this position, working in this area, and I fell in love with it.
Right.
So I got to do a little bit of everything in SOS. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. Also, getting back to a few other things, I saw that 85% of staff were previously in-house or are, And honestly, getting back to that, like people want to help people because they were in that position. I know if I were ever that, I would love to go and help anybody if I knew about it the way I'm kind of getting to learn about it. I would love to go out and maybe help some people. And honestly, I think it's just so amazing how people really step up to the plate, and they just, again, they want to be the change and help and just let people know, like, you're not alone. So that's amazing.
So one thing that I love what you said on the 85%, but something I love to say too is just, I don't know many organizations that 50% of our directors and administration is also from the unhoused community. So it's not just our street level. I'm a director, and there's 4 of us, and 50% of our directors have lived experience, have came out of shelter, came out of drug use, addiction, so that's also a highlight that I don't know many organizations that even the directors level are coming out of this, in my case, so freshly out of this, only 3 years out of 3+ years out of being homeless.
Right.
So, sorry, just want to
No worries. I would love for you guys to add on like that. No worries at all. Would you like to add anything before I move on, or?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, so how can others find and really get involved with this program?
You can go onto our website, SOS/Richmond.org. You can also commit a few hours of volunteer work, 2 to 5 hours a month or something like that. We have a form that you can come down to our building, which is 32 Harbor Way in Richmond. You fill out the form, and there's somebody else you talk to, Janie Castillo. She's the one that handles all the volunteer work. You can also donate to our company. We take everything when it comes to, living on the streets and sponsors or
just any bare necessity. If you need it, they need it.
Right. Blankets, clothes, shoes, tarps, tents.
Whatever.
Yeah. So you can come to our Warm Hand Center we provide on Mondays and Fridays at our warehouse, which is at, again, 32 Harbor Way. And whatever, information you need, you can ask there.
Okay.
And we have staff on site that will help with the questions and resources and everything like that.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We like to call them our volunteers, our care team. Obviously they care enough to come down. If you go on our website, you can also we would like to, I don't want to call it a reward, but showing our thanks to the volunteers in different levels. You clock your hours, send it and say, hey, I got 5 hours. I believe you get an SOS tote. Our photographer, I think he just reached 160 hours of photographs with us, and we got him actually this sweater. So we want to also say thanks, but our volunteers, we want to call them our care team. We really have amazing people that have already shown up and really provide a lot of that service.
Right, that's great. Okay, so what do you guys think are some challenges you have faced?
So the challenges, is that organization-wise, or is that personally living in,
Right. Well, this can be kind of within the program, organization-wise, yeah. And whatever you're really comfortable with.
Funding. We are in funding season. We're in contract season right now. I mean, really, we're a few weeks out of it, but we haven't, it's finding that next funding. It's getting connected with that next thing that's going to support this into the next fiscal year. That is always a challenge, not relying just on the city of Richmond, getting to be able to get other orgs and foundations to actually bite on to what we're trying to put out there. We're really proud, but we are a little SOS. So when we go into these big old, foundations, and they're hearing from these huge housing people that have way more grant writers and a lot more experience asking for this money, it's a challenge. It's truly a challenge. Also, another challenge is also finding contracts to converting from that nonprofit to also utilizing, like we said, those strengths and putting people into landscaping or, creating different avenues of what employment looks like through SOS. So that's also another hurdle that we've been trying to navigate. We're trying to get into a little landscaping, maybe, just finding other avenues so we're not so reliant on that nonprofit and just be that nonprofit, but also building a business to create that landscape business that
Right.
might have 5 guys and that they can keep going with that. We can keep that rolling. So that's definitely another challenge.
Getting back to something that you said with strengths, I wanted to get kind of, how do you guys find those strengths within people? Like, how do you notice them?
I mean, the list is long. I mean, we're like I said, we're coming from there. So we're seeing the strengths when I'm living at an encampment and that carpenter might have built his house that's only 2 tents down, and I'm solid in the house because some of these places are bigger than my apartment is now.
And I mean, a lot of people get mistaken homeless from poor. And I met some of great people, good friends today that being on the streets. And they're not bad people. They're looked at as drug addicts or just they're going to get robbed and they're going to steal from you. And
there's always that bad sense of that person.
It's crazy how people,
It is.
stereotype people. Other people. So, but yeah, it's challenging. Yeah.
No, I don't think any of us started off with our strength. As far as coming in the door of SOS, we started off at one position and one either someone else saw that strength in a person. I said with me, it was Daniel going, I think you should talk to people. And I'm going, no, I'm cool. I want to pick up trash. I was about to be a father. I didn't want to go to a different position that I might not be good at,
Yeah.
So, it is just different ways that we're finding it. But I don't think any of us started off and went, I'm outreach and I'm great at it.
Yeah.
We picked up trash first. We did that. And we kind of found there's, ourselves going, wait, I'm actually really good at this part. Well, I think I'm going to try this a little longer, so. But a lot of it does come from our knowledge of the people in the encampments.
Okay, yeah. Angie, I don't know if you wanted to get back on what are some challenges you have faced within the organization or anything like that, if you wanted to add anything.
No.
That's perfectly fine. Yeah. So moving on, so there was a 26% drop in homelessness in Contra Costa County. How do you think this program really stood out with making a change regarding that?
So I think first that the real problem, but not want to call it a problem. It's not, I know the pit count has to happen, and I've been in many of them. I think last year was the first one I haven't been in 3 years. It's undercounted, and I'm not saying that in anybody's failing way, but it's such a high undercount. So I also want to celebrate that, the 26, that's great. I don't know if that number is an accurate number, but I mean, we're focusing on things like she talked earlier about transitional, these housing. Well, one of the ways to get to that housing is employment. But if I've got 3 felonies and I've got, all these things, is how many doors are being opened for employment? How many people, not just doors, how many people are actually supporting me to help me find those doors? So, we can get them in a transitional program. And if we're not able to create what income is, where's the sustainability of that? So, we are looking at it as we're able to sit there and, with our workforce clinic and say, okay, these are second chance jobs. Have you ever written a resume? Do you know what a cover letter is? Do you know, with our first 60-day program, or at the time it was called 90-day, one of the things we taught was, do you even know how to catch the bus to work? Do you know how to schedule that? Do you know you can go on Google and put it in and it'll tell you how much it's going to cost you and how long it's going to go? And I want to say 1 out of 4 actually knew that they could do that. So it's really getting those things and play is going to help any which way we go.
Right.
Income is really, and then we're putting on a wellness piece. We're able to really push what wellness is, self-care. People in encampments, that is the farthest thing that they're worried about, that they're thinking about is really self-care. But when you bring that in that transitional period of getting off the streets, it is important. Eating healthier, sleeping at night. It just helps us be more productive. So we're also bringing that key element of being what wellness is. And it's not just eating a carrot and going for a jog. It's that self-care. It's that mental health care. It's whole body care that's actually going to make us feel better the next day we wake up. And then the next following day that leads to success.
Right. So little by little at a time.
Little by little.
All right. Do you add anything before we move on, or are you okay? All right. So moving on, what are your guys' overall goal for this program?
My goal is just to keep doing what I'm doing. I want to continue to help people. My goal is to be in a management position as a care manager, and I want to be in O'Neill's place, O'Neill's spot.
You want to take it?
Yeah, but
Try
I don't
to
want to
take
talk
my
so
job.
much. I don't want to talk that much.
Right. All
I'm
right.
not a talker. Yeah, it just makes me feel good to make other people feel good. And that people could, look up to me, and yeah, and that's it.
Thank you. O'Neill.
I think one of our goals for this program is, we talk a lot, I'm not sure if it's on our website, but if it's not, it should be. We talk a lot about tent to home and how that works and how that's successful. And that's really where we want our program to really outline that. It's finding people in an encampment, where the outreach, where the warm hand, or we call it the warm hand, is our resource center, what disconnects, and really following that path and showing how it worked for us too, and it can work for so many other people, and really pushing that forward on how that works, and utilizing the resources that we're able to collaborate with or create ourselves. I think that's really one of our big focuses on where we want to go, is to continue that and to strengthen that tent to home process.
Right.
So many people are out there going, I do encampment outreach, I'm a housing navigator, well, how many people are trying to meet them there and then meet them there, and never leave a space in between, and follow them. And it's not saying that I have to be a case manager, but it means, hey, how you feeling today? How's that going?
Right.
That's it. That could be it. That small conversation of how's that going, and never leaving that gap between that encampment to that home.
I think that's definitely something that was highlighted or emphasized within your guys' thing. Like, you guys, you're not leaving these people just alone. You're helping them throughout the whole process, and you're standing behind them the whole process, and you're lending a helping hand each time, and you're you guys got this. And I think that's just so great. Angie, would you like to add anything? Just kind of, okay. Moving on. Have you guys branched out of Richmond, or do you plan on to?
So, we just celebrated our pilot program, our Pinot pilot program. It's with the CCRCD.
Okay.
It was for creek restoration. So the answer is very small. Yes, we're starting to do little things here and there. Richmond does it different, is our new slogan. So no matter how far we branch out, Richmond is always going to be home, because we did it different there, and we're going to continue to do it different there. Now, hopefully, and I'm going to do this kind of with some county support. We want to be West County. We want to be SOS Richmond that's dominating the West County and bringing resources beyond just the greater Richmond area. We know that Vallejo has an issue. We've been talking to people up there. We've been talking to people in Berkeley. We understand there's issues everywhere, but we never want to abandon the home of SOS Richmond. So that is always going to be how we form this and as we move forward. But we do want to go and really be a dominant, more of a dominant force throughout the West County and further. But we need to start with our local county that is lacking in so many resources. You know, there is parts of this West County that might have one core team, and that's about all they have. And I understand that some of them only have a few unhoused, but those few unhoused is not getting any offerings.
Right.
You know, so if you collect those unhoused from the small, you know, Panolas and the going down, collectively, they have a population. You know, so really, you know, yeah, we want to branch out, but SOS Richmond is Richmond, and that's always going to be our home base, no matter how far we branch out.
All right. So that kind of wraps everything up. I just want to thank you guys so much for, you know, coming on to here and just answering these questions. Honestly, I think all your answers were just really thoughtful, honestly, and I was very emotional while kind of doing it. But I just want to thank you guys. It was so amazing having you guys, and thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for having us.